Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the SoFi Weekly. Thank you for joining us on a Saturday night rather than our normal Friday night time. But these great gentlemen were accommodating for my bad scheduling. So thanks, guys. Today is going to be a fun episode. As last year, we did a season of giving, let's say, where we exchange gifts to each other via, obviously, stock. These are finance channels. And so what better than to build wealth for each other? Or at least 3/4 of us got to build wealth. And one of us lost money, and a lot of money as a percent base. But we'll talk about that. And then we are going to be giving our new holiday gifts, which I think let's set some boundaries and some rules. So they have to be bought either today or by January 1st. Is that correct?
Yeah, it needs to be bought. It should be bought on Monday.
Yeah. I was just going to buy them on January 1st or anything close to that. That way I keep it as close to year to date as possible. But I'm fine to do it.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, individual discretion. I mean, I'm traveling, so I might forget on the 23rd. So
yeah, that's fine. That's fine. The other person that was a part of this during the gift giving season last time was Steve. Steve said he's going to try to make it to this episode, but he may be late, which I specifically told him not to be. But I don't control Steve, and Steve comes whenever Steve wants to come. So he's on his own schedule.
He's a force of nature.
Yeah. So he won't even be late. He'll just be when Steve arrives. That's the correct time. That being said, I have a I'm not going to give it away, but I am very excited to talk about my gift. Let's talk about the people that we're giving gifts to. I guess it kind of depends on if Steve shows up. Or do you guys want to still gift Steve regardless?
Let's do a recap of the prior year first, and then if our fourth member is able to join us, then we can jump into the new stuff.
Yeah, I was just going to go through rules before we started giving away, but
okay.
Yeah, so last year this was between Tevis, myself, Roy, and Steve. We had gifted each other stock, and
can you guys believe it's been a year? Like, does that blow anybody else's mind? Because, I don't know, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's flown by.
This year's been a lot of change for me, so I feel like it's been long, but still, I'm excited to be here again with you guys. That being said, so Steve and Roy, you guys exchange gifts, and then Tevis and I exchange gifts. This is what I say, okay? Now Tevis is not going to be mad at this. I want to keep our partners. Tevis, I believe in you, okay? Me and you were the both worst. You and I were fourth and third. There's a huge difference between fourth and third, okay? But we deserve each other.
I barely missed the podium, man. I don't know what you're saying. I that close to making the podium.
Yeah. Let's go through the rankings, okay? So, why don't we start at the top and work our way down? Or, I mean, yeah. So
let's just start at the bottom, work our way up. How about that?
Okay, fine.
Yeah, and yes, to the comments, Tevis is getting gray hair, dealing with these idiots on a weekly basis. That's a lot.
So
it's your calls, dude. It's your options.
I made a joke on my last FinTech Frenzy where this was whenever the market was kind of starting to shut down. I was like, man, I think Tevis just bought 1 million shares of Lemonade and Hims. And like, was it true? Were you just doing cash secure puts, just got called on everything? Or how did that work?
I did get, I rolled everything except for Hims this week. So I only got assigned on Hims. I almost got assigned on SoFi and I rolled it like 10 minutes before the close. So, and then Tesla, I also ended up rolling. But then it's the same thing, man, because all of my covered calls, like I didn't have to even buy back any of them. Like they all expired worthless, and I just collected that premium. And then like I got hit on the other threshold, you know? Whereas normally my covered calls get hit, and then my cash secured puts are so it's fine. It's gonna be fine.
Yeah. All right, let's do top down. I think that one's going to be the best. Roy came first place. However, it's funny because you came first place, but the person actually walking away with the real award is Steve, your person that you gave the gift to. That's gift right. Of Robinhood stock, for which he is up 200%, 200.86%, tripling his original investment, only $100 to be honest. But still, a triple's a triple. And now this year, he's going to be playing with House's money. And that's important. Playing with House's money in this game is important. The three of you guys should be very proud of doing so. I can't say the same. The next one was Steve to Roy. Back at you there, Roy. Steve gave you, kind of breaking the rules, but we didn't clarify it to him. He gave the gift of SoFi shares. But this year, we're going to make the rules very clear. You are not allowed to give shares of stock that is very well known that this person owns. Right?
Makes sense. Yeah.
Steve gave to Roy a 54.27% increase in his shares on SoFi stock, beating the S&P for the year and gifting him a great company on the SoFi Weekly.
Yeah, he doubled the S&P.
Yeah, no, not bad. I think the choice was like SoFi and then like a conglomerate of like Pfizer and Cisco, and I was like,
he wanted you to build SoFi. A portfolio.
Didn't he want to give you Intel at one point? Because that could have gone really poorly, I think.
I don't know if Intel was in there. It was a bunch of stuff, and I know that he's led with Pfizer, and I'm like, I mean, they're probably going to be okay, but
how did Pfizer do this year, honestly?
Mm-hmm.
Let's take a look. Pfizer's down 11%. So I think you got the good end of that bargain.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, when he gave me those choices, it's like, well, I mean, this is SoFi Weekly. Give me SoFi.
Down to third place. The losers of the group, the Canadians. Myself, Tanner, gave shares to Tevis in the form of PayPal. Up 41.88% year to date, beating the S&P 500. So still as good of a call as you could make. So you're welcome there, Tevis. And Tevis has a smile on his face because I think, I don't know if we were in bad standing during this time, but coming in at fourth place, Tevis gave me, to my portfolio, Unity shares down 44. Down. Make sure we capitalize down. These are no longer earnings. I went down 44.95% to be the worst in these four picks, but also the worst stock in my portfolio. It's the most red.
From me to you. You're welcome.
I'm a little nervous because I think I know what Tevis is going to give you. And if he does that and it causes that stock to do the same thing as Unity, I'm going to be mad. And it could happen. It could be like the gift of Tevis is a kiss of death.
No. Look, Tanner made it very clear backstage that he does not want to opt out or opt into the Tevis gift this year. And as a result, I'm going to give somebody else a gift this year. And just as luck would have it, that's probably going to be the best performer. All right. This is our stream from the weekend. Or I guess yesterday. It's still the weekend.
So what I realized I did wrong and Roy did very right this past year was realizing that this is a 12-month investment. Mm-hmm. So, you picked it really great, Roy, but I think my pick and Steve's pick was a little bit too slow and more of a generational type pick rather than something that can move in 12 months. So I have drastically changed my strategy this time, and I have picked something that I hope the best for Tevis with, but it could be Robinhood or it could be Unit. I'm shooting for first or fourth this year. Okay.
I'm just put up my cop.
If you pick like a Bitcoin miner or
when
boy.
Steve comes in, he's getting Unity.
Let me see the location of Great Steve. He is hasn't checked his phone in a bit. I'm gonna call him.
Somebody's
Actually,
getting.
you know what? I'm probably just gonna mute him just to he doesn't come on the phone just cursing profanities.
By the way, we said last year, and I have the clip actually, that there would be a prize for the winner. And I think the prize should be not getting the gift from Tevis. And that's all the prize that I'm asking. So
Oh, I hate you guys.
that is like a prize.
Honestly, if I got Roy, I don't even know what I would give you because we own a lot of the same stuff.
It would be it'd be tough. I'd be afraid like you'd give me Pinterest or something. Which I mean maybe it'll be good. I don't know. But see what do you have that you're really into that I'm not yet?
Lemonade, I guess you would get.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't mind that. I mean, I've not looked into it yet. But
yeah, there you go, Tanner. You have a tax write-off. Arguably, that's the best gift, man. Like this has been a really great year for you.
I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
I appreciate that. I'm gonna get a text message from Steve to let us know what he's gonna pick because he said
let's just do the episode and then let's do the gifts at the end. At that time, we give Steve more time to join, and then we can also just leave the fun stuff for the end.
So you just want to talk SoFi for a bit?
Yeah. Maybe Chris can also join too because he said maybe.
Okay. Do you want to lead us off?
So I made a tweet thread, and it was like a 2024 recap of all the SoFi news. Do you guys want to talk about it? We can just do like a year in review.
Sure.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. Do you want to pull it up, Tanner? Or I can pull it up, I guess.
I'll just share your screen.
Okay. Let's take a look. All right. Let's make that bigger. And then your screen. And then you guys can stop me at any time and we can stop and discuss all the things. All right. 2024 in review. So how I got to this list was I basically combed through all of SoFi's news on their investor relations. And then I also looked through like my Notion doc of my notes for all my videos that I made. And I just put these things together. There's a whole bunch of stuff that I left out that's kind of not relevant, but I felt this was an interesting recap. Okay. So lots of stuff in January. KBW downgraded SoFi. SoFi Invest 2% match on IRA contributions. They won 3 Nerd Wallet awards in January. They laid off 4% of the workforce. Tanner and I hopped on a live stream. Do you remember, Tanner? Where we were like combing through LinkedIn.
Okay, on that, I know we're doing a review, but do you guys think that's going to be a reoccurring theme in January or February?
I don't think so because last year was really like the year when everybody, did a cleanup of all the bloat that they had in 2020, 2021. So I think, maybe it might be a yearly thing, but I don't think so.
Yeah,
They've been hiring all throughout the year.
It seems like they have. I don't know. Like that's one of those things I'm interested in for SoFi and a couple other names as well. Just because, not just because of AI. There's more than just that, but a lot of it is. Like Klarna came out. The CEO came out earlier this week, and he said, "Yeah, we've stopped hiring because AI can do all the jobs." And they've hired some people, but they've went from 4,500 to 3,500 people over the year, just through natural attrition. And so I'm just kind of curious. Maybe it won't be a layoff, but they're still hiring folks, and that's good. But I'm just kind of curious on the implementation of AI and if that'll multiply some people's labor, and so they don't need quite as few people. So anyway, Sorry,
Klarna
Dan.
has been kind of AI maximalist though for the last 12 months. So
And I asked a certain someone about that, so maybe we'll hear more in a week or two.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Moving on. They launched their small business financing marketplace in January, Bright Spring IPO. They also did Pershing IPO and a whole bunch of other ones, which I didn't list. Dan Dolev cut his price target to 12. SoFi at Work was getting a lot of traction in January with Chipotle, and then later, I think in March, with National Association of Realtors. Appointing Dana Green to the board, offering alternative investments. So this was the ARK Venture stuff. Do you remember last December, there was like rumblings of this, and then in January, they actually announced it. They reported fourth quarter earnings. They also provided guidance for 2026, and that really gave us a lens into 2026. In February, they replaced Aaron Webster as the chief risk officer with Arun Pinto. They became the official banking partner of the NBA and partnered with Jason Tatum. And they also did the play-in tournament. I think that was in March, the play-in tournament, or April.
I think Aaron Webster went to Marquetta, was it?
Aaron Webster went to PayPal.
PayPal,
Yep.
okay. I knew it was another one that we covered.
Yep.
I've seen him pop up on LinkedIn, and I'm like, it's still weird for me to see him working for PayPal, not SoFi. But
SoFi, yeah. February, they were 75th largest U.S. bank by assets with 24 billion. Kathy interviewed Anthony Noto on her thing, mostly talking about like her alternative investments thing, but provide some good insights. And then I remember I was in Mexico and I did a live stream with Tanner. We covered this in February, where Chris Lapointe said top 5 bank, and then we started spiraling that it could be Citi. Do you remember this, Tanner?
Yes.
Yeah, the UBS.
I don't remember the live stream, but I remember the actual top 5.
I remember the live stream because I was wearing like a tank top or something.
Oh.
And I was like, why did I do that? March, Galileo expands collaboration with the Bancorp to offer real-time payments through the clearinghouse. Galileo had like an insane amount of press releases. So I only included, like I cherry picked. But and then March was when Aaron Webster joined PayPal. March was also the 750 million convertible senior notes offering and the capped call transaction. Galileo launches buy now, pay later post purchase for credit and debit. Noto went on Kramer to talk about the 2029 senior convertible notes and exactly why they had to do it at that time. Chad Borton resigned. He joined Equifax in May. But at this time, we were thinking whether Chad Borton resigned to retire or whether he was going to pop up somewhere, and he ended up popping up at Equifax. Robinhood announced the Robinhood Gold Card, and then we were starting to direct our spotlight to, credit cards for SoFi. And then short interest peaked at 23%, which was the record for the year. This was in March. April, I don't know why it skips forward. April, KBW upgrades SoFi to market perform. Needham initiates with $10 price target. SoFi boosted some credit card benefits and referral bonuses. I said here, it's possibly in response to the Hood announcement because it was like a week later. SoFi partners with the National Association of Realtors. I believe this was SoFi at Work. They had a partnership with Wyndham Clark for the golf in anticipation of TGL, which is starting up next month. They were recognized as a top 5 bank on the Forbes 2024 World's Best Bank report. They got a bunch of price target upgrades, and they reported Q1 triple beat in the end of April. Moving on, May. SoFi holds the 2024 annual meeting of stockholders. They received a grant for machine learning fairness metrics in risk scoring. Oh, there he is.
Hey guys.
We're just walking through the year, so feel free to interrupt me at any time, okay?
Can I interrupt you already?
Go for it.
Just because I was listening while I was putting my kid to bed, and Roy asked about January and whether or not he thinks that they'll do cuts again. I actually think they will because they've done it the last 2 years. That would be my guess. Because it wasn't just 2024. They did it in 2023 and 2024. Both times it was like a 5% or less cut. So I I wouldn't be surprised to see it again. That's all.
You think it's like a yearly thing where they just cut out the low performers?
I think it might be. Well, I mean, 3 years would definitely kind of establish that trend, but we'll have to see.
I mean, it's been two, I don't know, 2020, 2021 has been 2 big years of like people scaling. And the fact that they're hiring all throughout the year sort of points me in that direction of like, hey, these are all low performers that we're cutting. Because otherwise that becomes detrimental for performance. But then you also have to keep in mind that like they just finished the full merge with Galileo too. So there could be some of that as well. So we'll see, I guess. Then so in May, they had the first one of these news for the year, I believe, the 350 million personal loan securitization with PGIM. So would this be the LPB? No,
that's just a normal ABS securitization.
What's the difference?
So securitizations
Not
is when
underwriting
they already, these are loans that are on their books that they then package and sell off, right?
So they're not doing it on behalf of third party.
They did it like they could have held those loans, or they could have sold them. The loan platform business, they never have planned to hold them. They're immediately originated to sell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zell support came out in May. 2 Sigma liquidated their entire position in May, and then short interest dropped to 17%. June, Stephen Simcock was general counsel. Crystal Point participated in Missoula Fireside, and then the QIA liquidated their position in SoFi. And then you had a bunch of people sort of liquidate their positions throughout this year. So 2 Sigma, QIA, and then most recently we had Silver Lake? Yeah, I think so. In October or November. It's in here. I'll get to it. July. Sorry, I don't know. This keeps jumping forward. July. SoFi ramps up credit card marketing and promotions. Noto hops on CNBC. And this is the interview where he's like, we'd do better under a Republican administration. Short interest jumps up to 18%. KBW Barclays lower price targets again on SoFi. So at this point, it's July. They lowered it in January. They increased it in April, and they lowered it again in July. And the first time they lowered it, SoFi dropped like 14% in a couple of days. They report Q2 results. They, the same day, launched the PR around the pilot program for the new credit cards. August, the stock hit 52-week lows at the beginning of August, just a couple of days after earnings. SoFi Invest becomes available for non-permanent residents. They launched small business banking with financing options with Novo and Amex. And then later they dropped Amex like a week later. They hit number 69 in largest bank by assets with 27 billion.
I think Amex is back. Isn't that correct?
When was it back? Because they dropped them.
Yeah, it dropped for like an extremely short period of time. I think it was like a couple weeks, and then they came back. I could be wrong.
I can check on that while I'm in the app as we go.
Cool. August was when they started lowering their APYs to 4.5%. Galileo enhances B2B expense management with MasterCard Smart Data. And at this point, we were talking about the Fed rate cuts and when they were coming and so on and so forth. And then September, we got Noto at the Goldman Sachs Fireside Conference talking about Cash Coach and the expansion in credit cards and what they were planning to do there. Galileo launched instant account verification and machine learning risk scoring. And as well, they launched secured credit with dynamic funding. In October, they had the primary bid partnership. So the direct share platform for IPOs powered by primary bid. APY continues to come down to 4.3 at this point. The new credit cards actually ended up launching in October. So they were in a pilot program for a couple months. The $2 billion agreement with Fortress was announced. So this is the loan platform business. They had a partnership with Venus Williams and Cameron Brink. I think this is like the 4th athlete that they've partnered with this year alone. Nova and SoFi expanded their partnership for cash flow underwriting. And then SoFi adopted Cyberbank Core for new commercial payment services. Moving on, November, the new robo-advisor platform expanded with more asset classes. SoFi partnered with BlackRock. They moved up to 67th largest bank in the US with $29 billion in assets. Short interest fell to 13%, the lowest it's been all year long. Because halfway through October, the stock went from $8 to like $17, where it peaked a couple weeks ago. Finally, this month, we had our UBS fireside chat with Chris Lapointe. Silver Lake liquidated their entire 31.1 million share position. SoFi expanded access to alts, and this had a high visibility, with SpaceX. That was the main sort of awareness. And then they released this 10 million member milestone, which was interesting because it's like insights on next quarter earnings. But yeah, that's essentially a super long thread around all the stuff that they've released this year.
You forgot Noto's selling shares.
I mean, sure, but that's not really, it's not even a sale. I'll list that in 2028 or whatever.
Okay.
Now, obviously, as people can see, we have an extra person here. Chris, are you looking to take part in the gift giving season?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay. I think the way that we're going to do this is like a circle. So I think what's going to happen is I'll give to Tevis. I really want Tevis to have what I'm giving. Tevis, who would you like to give your gift to?
That's not even a circle, dude. How is that a circle? Like you have Roy or Chris, and we can go either counter.
You're gonna have to move
not
Tevis
based
up
on
or
the
to the
camera.
left.
Not based
Just
on
move him
camera.
around. Just move him
Move
up
him
to
around.
me. Move me down.
Yeah.
All right,
There you go.
just move it back. You
No,
can.
Roy picks for me. Right, we're good.
Not by camera wise. I mean, like each like I don't think you'll be giving back to me. You'll be giving to someone, and then
All right.
work all the way around. We have to stick Steve in here. I have Steve's pick. He texted me. I told him that he was going to be giving to Roy whenever I texted him. So let's try to keep that consistent because it might have changed with new information.
Yeah.
Oh,
Who's
man,
Steve going to?
I'm gonna get Cisco or something.
Whoever you want. So Chris, you can be a gift giving to Steve or myself. And then Tevis, you can be with Chris or Steve.
Who's got Roy?
Steve.
Steve has Roy?
Yeah.
Steve had Roy last time though.
And I got you.
Again? Okay.
Who am I giving to?
Yeah, it's so confusing.
Either me or Tanner. Tanner,
do you
you
want,
just
Roy?
got to decide, man. All right, we're gonna go Tanner to Tevis, and then Tevis will give. I'll bite the bullet. Tevis can give to me. I'll give.
I'll bite the bullet.
I'll give to Steve. Steve can give to Roy, and then Roy can give to Tanner. I'm gonna give Steve a name that he's not gonna like at all. So this should be good.
Roy to Tanner?
What?
You said Roy to Tanner?
Yeah, Roy to Tanner.
Dude,
I love it.
If you give Steven something that he won't like, he won't end up buying it. I guarantee you.
It's not something that. It's just not something. I doubt it's on his radar.
He'll already own it.
Absolutely won't buy it. I don't even know. What
Chris, Tevis is buying for Chris. And Chris, you said
Worst
you're buying for
decision
Steve.
ever. Yeah.
And Steve is buying for
I'm gonna
Roy.
have to take notes.
Yeah, I've got notes.
Okay. Yeah,
Um,
send those in the group chat afterwards. If
it's
you
also
don't
being recorded, by the way. Just saying.
mind. Yeah.
Yeah. Here.
You're gonna
Just for
have to watch
clarity's
this
sake, let me just post this. I don't know if this will come through whenever I share it. No, it won't. That's sad.
Okay, well, I guess Tanner's not getting hymns. That sucks. I mean, he still might, I guess. It's early.
But Roy's giving, right?
Oh yeah.
By the way, if I was included in this last year, one of you would have gotten hymns then.
I know.
Would that
I would
about
have
count
appreciated that.
Robinhood?
Also,
It would have been until it sold off like crazy on Thursday on that news. It would have been beating Robinhood.
I think it's at 188% up right now year to
Yeah,
date.
yeah. It dropped like a ton in the last few days.
1.78 versus 209.86 Robinhood.
See, I checked it.
Yeah, but give it a week, man. It's
Yeah, well,
hymns.
I mean, hymns could go up or down 15% in a week, easy.
If it wasn't for the 12% sell off this week, it would have.
Yeah,
it
no,
would have
that
been about good.
I loved that, honestly. Like I added, I wanted to add, but I was going to wait because hymns will give you those opportunities, and it's just like, oh man,
Yep.
this is great.
Yeah, I bought
If instead of me receiving Unity shares and he would have gave me him shares, it would have been a 6x difference nearly in my performance. So I think I'm the only one that actually has to reload my gift giving account to play again. You guys get to play again for free. I have to add 50% more. I don't have a separate account for it, but essentially I am now playing with, once again, my own money. Okay. I think we should start off with the most obvious of choices. So do we want to get those out of the way, or let's get Steve's out of the way because he can't defend himself. Roy, what do you think you're getting?
I mean,
Intel. It's got to be Intel.
Guys, you're not thinking clearly enough. Think.
Is it whatever that is it Altria Group? What is the one? No.
It's the thing that Roy wants to own the least, and Steve is pumping right now.
You're getting XRP.
oh no!
He is an official shareholder. Roy is an official shareholder of a Jack Dorsey company.
Oh
no! It's a block.
You're a
no!
blockhead.
Roy loves Jack Dorsey.
He just leaves. Just went to like scream into a pillow.
Oh no!
He's a man of faith, so he had to mute and turn off his camera for when he cursed it at us all.
My two best friends that promised me that they would never buy Block this year have purchased Block in 2024. How funny.
How you feeling,
Yeah.
Roy?
It's against my will. I do not want to own that company. I'll get $100 worth. I'm not. Most things I'd be like, oh yeah, I'll just buy full shares. I am to the letter buying 100. I do not want to own more Block than I have. And at the end of the year, I
buying
will
fractional.
I do not like the company. Well, I like the company. I don't like the CEO. So
Got you.
He's personally fine. Whatever. Yeah.
Chris to Steve, let's get this one out of the way because obviously we can't get a reaction out of him either.
Okay. All right. So for Steve, I'm going the Tanner route where it's like go big or go home. So taking a volatile name that could go up a lot, but it's something that I've started a position in fairly recently. I'm DCAing in kind of as I do more research into it. I don't feel like 100% confident in this name. It's still a really small part of my portfolio, but I'm going to give Steve Transmedics.
Ooh.
Ticker is TMDX.
Yeah.
So they were flying really high earlier this year. So I guess we'll start at the beginning, what they do. So it's an organ transplant company. So what they do is they have, so for its liver, lungs, and I forget the third one, that they do transplants for. But so if someone passes away, what they'll do is they'll take the organs, and they have basically a machine that keeps blood circulating through those organs and keeps them oxygenated so that they're able to survive longer, rather than kind of the typical way that they do this is they just kind of put it on ice, right? They transport it with dry ice. And so it increases the efficacy of the transplant. It's hard. There you go. Thanks, Heinze. He's backing me up. And so they have the machine. What they did this year is they also actually purchased a private airline so that then they can also transport them, not Oregon, a organ as in something in your body. They also purchased, and this is one of the things that kind of went against them last quarter, is they purchased an airline. And so now they've got a bunch of this in order to ship those things faster, because they're really obviously amount of time that these organs are out of a body is really important for the amount or for the efficacy and whether or not the transplant will be successful. So this is why this just isn't really a Steve name. Like I'm guessing that he hasn't done, like I said, I'm still doing due diligence into it, but their growth has been phenomenal until this last quarter. And all of a sudden they had a quarter where they were quarter over quarter, they were down. They had some extra maintenance expenses that came from having to maintain that the airplanes. They didn't continue to grow in market share. So it was kind of a hiccup quarter. And it's really sold off extremely hard. So I can't remember. Well, I'll pull up the chart real quick, but it was trading at, so earlier this year, it was all the way up at like 170 and it's traded all the way down to 60. So like from the peak, which was just in August, which isn't that long, it's down like 65%. So it sold off really hard, but if they can fix their kind of their expense stuff, if they can return to growth, because they were growing at like triple digits and they're supposed to continue to grow quite a bit kind of year over year, despite that little hiccup, then it could easily get up that high again. So anyway, so I am gifting Steve $100 of Transmedics shares.
That I think is a good one. Some people are saying that's not memey at all. The goal is not to be meme-ish. We are looking for stocks that are going to perform the best over a 12-month period.
Yeah. And also the goal is not to be mean, Steve. Come on. I know he's bullish on it, but like,
yeah, I just think he's giving it to you because that's the only thing he's talking about lately.
Yeah, I know. Like he's not trying to be mean.
That being said, Tevis to Chris. You have to give him something he doesn't own.
See, like this is where I get screwed because I would I thought I was giving Tanner Hims, but you already own Hims, you already own SoFi, you already own Tesla, so it's like I'm down to not my A players. I honestly,
I know you want to give me Palantir, but I own that too. So
yeah, you already own Palantir.
You could give him Unity. I mean,
yes.
I don't own Unity. That is true.
I'm not.
Don't you dare!
It continues to go down after a 50% drop.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you Lemonade. Honestly, so this is Chris.
Okay.
This is a company that I'm just doing research myself. I've been accumulating for a couple of months. It's run up quite a bit, but I'm finding a lot of the stuff that I'm reading is interesting. It's not nearly as like compelling as like Hims is probably my favorite stock in the market right now, like by far, in terms of the prospect and the opportunity and how excited I am to just own it. Lemonade, I think, has a really cool roadmap. They just recently released their 10-year plan, and kind of selfishly, also like I want you to read up on it and do your own due diligence to take a look and have more just research out there in the community. A lot of the stuff that I've been reading.
Knew that was what this was. You're just picking so then you can get more DD.
I already own it. So I've already been owning it for several months. And I'm actually up like, over double on my own shares that I bought like 2 months ago. And this was all before they reported their latest quarter earnings and their latest, their investor day, 2024. So I think it's exciting. I mean, it's insurance, but I think it's complementary to a lot of the research that you're already doing on SoFi, and I'm curious to hear your thoughts after you take a look at them.
So Lemonade, I actually owned at one point just a really like 2 shares just to put it in the portfolio so that I would do research, and then I never got around to doing research on them, and so I sold those out a while ago. So, but it is a company I know, like the stock market nerd, right? Brad Freeman owns them. He's covered them. They're intriguing to me, but I've never taken the time to do DD. So I'm good with that pick.
The only like hesitation I had, to give you that is that they're not like profitable yet, but they're on the way to being profitable. Like all of the metrics are pointing in the right direction. And so, anyways, yeah, I think you'll find that a lot of the metrics are like pretty good.
Roy, is yours an interesting pick, or you just shooting for gains?
Both.
Would you like to go first or last?
I will go last.
Okay, because mine's quite interesting because I've never, ever talked about this company and I don't own it myself.
This is revenge. This is what revenge looks like. What is
No,
it?
it's not revenge. I am shooting for first place or fifth place. You're going to be happy or you're going to receive Unity.
Thanks, Tanner. Okay, fine.
For my pick, back to Tevis. Brother, I wish you the best here, and I'm not trying to sacrifice your money. I give you Joby Aviation.
All right, I'll just.
Avital.
Is that
Yes.
an eVTOL company? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
eVTOL.
How do they compare to Archer? Like, are they first, second in this space?
I mean,
Probably number 2.
yeah, but they have partnerships and investments from Uber, Delta Airlines, Toyota. They're pretty big, and just like Archer, things are about to pop off in 2025. So, I do wish you the best, and because it's only a 12-month thing, I do actually think I can come first here. I really do, but
Or last. But yeah, sure.
I know
Yeah,
you need to be
penny stocks. Yeah, if the bull market remains intact, they got
not
a
penny
good
stock, not penny stock.
Yeah, it's ridden up. You're right. It's like low teens.
No, it's like $7.
Oh, okay. Yeah. My sister actually invested in Joby, or at least she did at one point. So
Why Joby over Archer, Tanner?
The run up year to date, mainly. I know they're both going to do well. I started my research about 3 hours ago, and I spent most of the 3 hours doing laundry. So I looked at that one. I looked at Archer. Archer ran up quite a bit year to date, up 81%. Sorry, 51%. And Joby's up 11%. So I wish you the best of luck, but I'm not going to be following you into this trade. But good luck.
wow.
That should literally be against the rules. I know Tanner.
No, I really do. I really do believe in this for you.
You
said
said backstage
NVIDIA.
video.
Give them NVIDIA. Like, come on.
No, because I think that this has a better chance of running up in 12 months than.
Then why did you fucking own it?
Because I'm not a short-term investor, but these are short-term investments. But I will buy NVIDIA. I will this year. I promise you I'll buy more NVIDIA. But you, my friend, are going to make so much on Joby.
I think
Aren't
this is
you actually a financial advisor. What is this bullshit?
So a financial advisor can't gamble with his friends? I'm not allowed to play poker on the weekends? You enjoy, buddy. You're going all in.
All right, fine. I'll buy Joby.
You're probably going to fall in love with this company and start wheeling it or something. All right.
Premiums are probably
Let's
really
see.
good on it.
Brother, honestly, you could get first place this year. You could.
Okay.
Roy?
Well, I'm changing then what I'm giving you, Tanner. Because
Why?
Dude,
I should win last.
No, it's not because I think I will outperform. It's because I think this is what you deserve now.
Yeah. Give him some peanut crypto.
No. That's breaking the rules.
Oh,
You're not allowed to pick meme stocks.
It's
in
not
the
a meme.
rules.
It's not a meme.
You have to pick to get first place. You're picking to get first place.
Tanner,
Oh, I think it could. I think it could,
Can you
actually.
put up Jason's comment, please?
What? No. But that might be true. But in 2028, they're expecting profitability. So who cares about earnings of 28 million whenever you're going to be profitable in 2028?
I have to sell it in 12 months.
I like
Yes, the market's going to catch on, and you can hold your shares longer. You don't have to sell.
Joby has really high IV, and it looks like they've actually got decent liquidity on their options. You can start wheeling it, Tevis.
There you go, Tevis. And you're welcome. And because it's a penny stock, you probably will own 100 shares. I'm kidding.
I like Cole's suggestion to give you SMCI, Tanner.
You have to pick stocks that will remain stocks. They have to be listed.
I won't do this, but I'm tempted to give you HCC. Do you know HCC, Tanner?
HCC?
Yeah. It's Warrior Met Coal Incorporated. So I'll give you literally a coal stock. They're
Brother, this is no. If you give me a mineral company, this is legit. This is a meme.
No. Warrior Met Coal. It's trading at look. Okay. Tell me this.
What's the original company you're going to pick? I'm just curious.
Look,
You throw
This
that
is
out.
undervalued.
Look, it's 54.93. PE is actually really good. Fundamentals are really good. 1,143 employees. They actually specialize in metallurgic coal, which is used in steel making internationally. And
Cool.
if we continue to have the global economy heat up, there's going to be a lot of steel produced, and so it'll be doing quite well.
Brother, what's the other stock that you were thinking of?
I'm going to give you HIMS, even though you don't deserve to own HIMS. But I'm going to give you HIMS anyway.
Honestly, if you would have given me that coal thing, I would have been a user of HIMS. I wouldn't have been able to get it back up again.
Oh, dude, shut up. I'll take him any day over fucking Joby.
What do you mean? Talk about getting it up. You're talking vertical liftoff, baby. You're going to the moon. HIMS can't even do that.
Can I just own
EV
GameStop?
Talls can't get to the moon. There's no atmosphere between here and the moon.
So
You know
HIMS.
what? This is what Chris always does. We're always having fun little jokes. You did this to the state conversation as well. Oh, well, it's actually the hyperglobin. But like, brother, you need to just let jokes be jokes.
Dude, I'm the chemical engineer. That's my job.
On HIMS, you should
Is it
buy
hemoglobin,
on
by
Monday.
the way? Did I pronounce it wrong? Hemoglobin?
Hemoglobin. Well done.
Yeah.
So on HIMS, you should buy on Monday. I would not recommend waiting until January 1st. HIMS is ready out of the gate for the weight loss season, which is January 1st. They already have on their website published articles ready to go comparing their solutions to Noom and everybody else, specifically in the title. And this is also for the search algorithm in 2025. They had that as of a week ago. They've been pumping, of course, their own oral weight loss solution. They lowered the price of it as well. They know how to market. And if you look at Google search trends, I mean, like it's always like in January, people are interested, but there's more consciousness on GLP-1. There's more people that plan to use it. That was not banned. Tirzepatide was, which they don't even compound. And so they're going to do some crazy things in the first couple of quarters. There will be a big pullback at some point when the compounding is ended for the semaglutide. But I think that they're positioned very, very well. They're going to be a phenomenal grower. I feel like that's a layup right there. I think I just won just because I got to give HIMS to somebody. If I had Chris or Tevis, I wouldn't have been able to give HIMS. With Tevis, I probably would have given Nubank, and with Chris, I would have had to give Creative. I think I would have given you Ibotta, which is for rebates. It's an interesting company. They IPO'd this year, even though they're an older company. But I've been like Tanner. I've been spending the last couple of days researching a couple of new names, and that's when I'm like,
No, not like Tanner. He spent 3 hours while doing laundry. Okay.
Dude, but this is the thing about these types of stocks. It's all about the narrative, okay? The narrative is they're lifting off next year, and that's all you need to worry about. Forget research.
I think other names that could do well that I considered as I was thinking about this. Celsius is also pretty beaten down and could if they can get their international growth to start to to get back to growth, I think that could be a good name. Nubank, which Roy just mentioned, is beaten down and doesn't deserve it. Mercado Libre is another name that, again, because of geopolitical issues, is beaten down. I was thinking there might have been one more one, but there's a few names that are still actually seem really beaten down. And I know that most of you guys, I think, Tevis, you've got a position in Celsius. Tanner, do you also?
No.
Oh, you don't? Okay. I know that you used to drink them on your stream all the time.
I drank them, never owned it, though. I got really bullish on them whenever Jonah came on our show, but never actually placed a position.
I considered if I was going to get Tevis, and I chose Nubank instead, but just giving him Robinhood if I had gotten Tevis, just because I think they're going to do very well. They're not going to do what they did this year. Well, probably not. I mean, it's a bull market, so who knows? And I've thought about in phase 2, but I don't know when the turnaround is going to happen. And I could see it, come in third with a respectable, increase. But yeah,
man. So all I'll say, everyone can laugh, but we're going to have to wait a full year to see the results of this. Just like the rules of last year, there is no selling allowed. Okay? I don't care if it goes to 0. And I'm risking a lot here betting on him. So I'm at just as much risk as the rest of you guys. Some of us are not happy. Block, Hims. I think Tevis
I'm
is
good
not.
with lemonade.
I don't even remember the name of the company. What did I get you, Tevis? No, I'm kidding. I got you, Joby.
$100. The most I can lose. That's how I'm thinking about it. It's like I put a bad parlay. What we forget about it.
Okay, how about this, Tevis? Tevis, hold on. I say
Didn't even give me the number 1 in the space. You gave me the fucking lift of eVTOLs, bro.
well, they got a partnership with Uber.
Like, at least give me Archer. Like, why
At least he didn't give you Lilium. So
yeah, I wouldn't do that.
They're delisted now.
Okay, I will buy. Instead of 100, we'll do 10,000 of Hims and 10,000 of Joby.
Dollars or shares?
Dollars. I don't want 10,000 shares of Hims.
Was that like 350 grand worth of
He's so volatile.
Like 350 grand worth of on somebody else's DD.
Joby better be delisted. You can think on it. You don't have to answer till January 1st. But if you want me to be more of a shareholder of Hims, I'm willing to do that as well. But yeah,
There's a big price grand worth of Joby.
What?
You think I'm going to buy 10 grand worth of Joby?
That's up to you, brother. You make that decision. I'm just giving you options.
I mean,
okay.
I honestly, I think this is all fun and games, and I might win this year. That's honestly what I think. With these types of plays, FAA gives them approval, and they start doing commercial use here in America. Not only in America, but they're going global here. Okay, this could be what Robinhood did. You could see a triple here. I'm not looking for, terrible stocks like Mercado Libre or Nubank to going only 70% next year. That would be terrible. I'm looking for the triples. Okay. Who wants NVIDIA when you can make some real money?
I wish I gave you Unity for a second year in a row.
Well, you can't because I own it.
That's what I wish. You'd have to double down.
I own Unity, so you can't give it to me. Best $50 that I've ever spent.
Honestly, I would prefer to own Joby than Block. So even though I have more confidence in Block doing better, I don't want to own it. So.
I'll trade.
I wish that was allowed.
Oh, that's good. And by the way, any of you guys that are watching can follow us on these trades.
Don't
do it.
It is not financial advice.
No, I meant like put them in your watch, like just track the progress. The progress. I'm not saying buy them.
Yeah.
When you say follow someone in a trade, you mean track their progress?
I changed my answer. Don't sue me. I'm just all right. This has been good. What other stuff do you guys want to cover? Do you guys want to go through some of your investments? Do we want to maybe?
I think let's make predictions as far as maybe price target for SoFi, because this will be my last SoFi Weekly for the year. I won't be able to come next week. So,
okay.
If you guys are ready to do that, if you're not, that's fine. I'll just throw out mine.
I haven't given it a shred of thought, but I can pull a number out of the hat.
Doesn't stop you.
Life really gave you lemons, Tevis.
He gave it 3 hours of
lemonade.
laundry folding thought.
I went through my watch list and I was scrolling through my watch. I've got like 60 names on here, and I just went no. I went off the script. I had to find something else.
Yeah. Well, Heinz, you mentioned Innovix. I mean, that really could be one of those. I think it outperformed.
That one's back down again, isn't it?
It went up 20% on Friday.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, it's
Tevis, I was going to pick Enphase.
Yeah, I would have done that.
Enphase, I think, would do a PayPal for you. Like you'd come in like
Also-
third, maybe second.
I mean, I've
Did you
said
say
this in
you
my
would have opened that, Tevis? Is that what you said?
I would have owned that, yeah.
You're going to own Joby anyway. You have no decision. You have no choice in the matter.
It's yeah, I'm just looking at their financials, Tanner. So they have like
You're paying attention to all the wrong stuff. Look for the press releases. This is what you need.
no. I'm looking at the fact that they have like what 5 quarters of runway, 6 quarters of runway.
No. They have so much money.
That's more than 4. You only have to hold it for 4 quarters.
Here's the thing. This is one part that I did look into. Joby's got a way longer runway than Archer does. Archer burns a lot more and has less cash. Joby burns way less cash, got a lot of investments. So, I'm thinking for the long
Get
term.
excited for some senior convertible note offerings, Tevis.
Yeah, and also, Tevis, what are you talking about? What'd you say, 5 quarters? You're only in it for 4, baby, so you're good. You're good either way.
It's all right. I
Don't buy
deserve
your
this.
chickens before they hatch. This is going to be a good year.
I deserve this. I've done something in a past life.
No, it was this life. It was last year. That's when you did
This
it.
entire episode is like the analogous to like a backhanded compliment from Tanner to Tevis for the last year.
He's been waiting. He's probably been waiting for this. He's been sitting on Joby for months and months.
No.
He's like, oh, is it December 20th yet? I can't wait.
You know what? I hear Joby brought up in my comments all the time. So there's like 100 people watching this, 200 people watching this that are like, what's wrong with Joby? It's like I got 100 grand in Joby.
It's a real company. They have a real product. Somebody is going to win in eVTOLs. I don't know that it'll be within a year. The stock market's forward looking, but smalls, it's in small cap, haven't really run like many had thought that they would. If the bull market continues, it'll probably get some momentum. And of course, yeah, like you said, FAA clearance. That it's not like biotech, but it's similar in some ways. Once that official sanction comes in and they say, hey, you've got the clearance, all of a sudden that stock really starts running. It's so I don't know. I'm glad I don't have to own it.
Yeah.
You guys need to be forward looking.
That's why you're called.
I can't take Tanner seriously.
Tanner, I feel so much better about this. I feel so much better about this if you also owned it with me.
No, dude, I'm a long-term investor. So once they start making some real revenue, some real profits, I might take a position. But
I'm not buying this shit.
We're gonna add that rule next year.
You 100% are. This is a real investment.
No, I'm not buying
it. Next year, you do have to own it if you're giving it to someone else.
We'll make it that you have to own at least 100 shares to give $100 gift of it to somebody. That way, it's not like you owning like 1/8 of a share, unless it's like Mercado Libre or something.
That's
I was going to
next
say
year's
that
earnings.
nobody's ever getting Melly or yeah.
That's next year's rules. So we will.
All right, let's do SoFi price targets off the cuff.
Okay, Roy.
Yeah, my base price target is 25. It's been that way since 2 months ago. It looks, and I'm not going to shift it. I don't tend to shift things. I know analysts will do this all the time. I'm not an analyst. They'll be like, "Oh, the stock's running. I'll shift my price target," and I'm just not going to do that. So, yeah, $25, which it's a nice increase for SoFi. We're at 15, so that's 66%, a little bit less, 60%. So, I think if the tech platform actually reaccelerates, they win, some contracts, they have some momentum. I could see it at 31 for the bull level price target.
Tevis, do you want to give a
20.
SoFi price target and then a Joby price target?
25 is the number that I was thinking about. Like that's a number that first came into my mind for SoFi.
Do it like the Price is
Joby.
Right.
I don't know,
Go
Joby.
25.01, and then Roy can't win.
There you go.
Okay, 25.50. Actually, you know what? No. I take that back. I think SoFi makes new all-time highs this year. So what is that, like 2650?
28 something.
SoFi or IPOE all-time highs, because IPOE was like 28 something. SoFi I think was right below
25.
All right, I'll go with that.
25.
I'll go with IPOE. I'll go 2850. Is that all-time highs? It's a nice round number.
Chris?
It's 28.26 is the all-time high for
2850 is what I'm going with. Feel good.
I was actually going to go with 28, so now Tevis stole mine.
Mine was
think,
also 28.
So I think that we're going to get a good jump on Q4 earnings. I really think that their guidance is going to really surprise to the upside over Wall Street. They'll still be conservative, but Wall Street's guidance Wall Street analysts are so low compared to what I think that they'll do for their 2025 guidance that I think there will be a pretty decent jump after Q4. I'm not doing anything to these are just my thoughts about it, right? Like I don't have any sort of short-term calls or anything that writing on that, but just as I analyze the company and as I kind of look forward to 2025, I don't think that the analysts have caught the vision of what SoFi is doing. And so I do think, like I said at the time, and I still think that it'll get above 20 in kind of early February after the report earnings. I'm notoriously awful at short-term price actions. So take all of this with a grain of salt. But I think that they can get to 28 by the end of the year. That seems, I think they're probably going to come in with something like 35 to 40 cents of EPS at least next year. And then just, again, based on on kind of the modeling that I've done, and I think that we're going to see a lot of analyst upgrades and a lot of share price appreciation.
I probably would have put it above $30. So the weird thing for me and what I got wrong last year was that I was thinking we were going to see 4 quarters, but you don't get to see 4 quarters. You only get to see 3 of them. So if I were to include getting to see guidance for 2026 from the standpoint of ending Q4 of 2025, I think that the stock will bounce always on those annual guidances. But without knowing that and without just like closing the year, I think that it'll be a little bit lower and they will be much more conservative on the full year guidance because of what the Fed just came out and slowed 2025 rate cuts. SoFi likes to be super conservative, and they'll probably be very conservative once again on 2025, and they'll have to battle for new upgrades every quarter because of that decision. So I'll also say 28, but I probably would have been in the 30s if that was the case. Anything?
Because still, the past several years, I mean, they've basically been guiding for a recession. I don't think they'll be guiding for a recession this year, whereas they kind of were the last couple of years when they gave their guidance, right?
Yeah, I still think they'll be conservative.
They will be. You're right. They always are.
It was a weird guidance. They're like, hey, we're going to guide for very few cuts, which actually happened, and also basically a recession. So both of those couldn't have happened. I mean, they could have if the Fed was just off their rocker, but that's not what they would have done. If we actually had a recession, we would have more rate cuts. So yeah, it'll be interesting. Like that's one of the reasons why I ended up not wanting to move my base level price target is simply because, like, the one thing that happened this week, people are mentioning the student loan forgiveness thing from Biden. That was going away anyway. I don't know that that's going to add momentum to the stock this next week, but the Fed comments, as far as fewer rate cuts than expected. Of course, that's part of the reason why the stock market started selling off. But the SoFi is very, very sensitive to any kind of that news, and there's a good reason for that. It always overdoes it, but fewer rate cuts is not the most exciting thing for SoFi. It's still going to be a great year, though.
Yeah. So one thing that I think was very interesting, Roy, was the fact that you got block stock. You didn't want block stock, but maybe you can get some, clarity on why you received such a stock for your Christmas gift.
I
Steve?
wanted Roy to be a blockhead with me.
That's
He
it.
is pissed.
That's all we get.
I think, you know what? I'm going to buy it in my SoFi Invest account. That way I never look at it. I don't even have to think about it. I don't even count it as a part of my portfolio, though I technically own it.
Steve,
you will technically own it. Yes.
Yes, I'll technically own it for the year.
Yes.
We have a couple stocks to go out, but you have to follow along as well. You need to take $100 and buy a stock. You can sell the last one, which I think was Hood, if you want. You had tripled your money on this investment from Roy.
Yeah. So what am I getting dumped on me this year?
Maybe another triple. So this is what happened this year. Steve to Roy, you gave him block. Chris gave you, Steve, a TMDX.
The fuck is TMDX?
It's the organ
Transmedics.
transplant company.
Organ
Transmedics.
transplant company.
You'll like the fundamentals.
You'll have to go back to the beginning of this episode that you're on and listen. And I explain what the stock is and what the company does.
TMUX.
DX.
DX. Transmedics.
Transmedics.
It's been, you don't care about this part, but it's been pretty popular mention in the FinX community over the last maybe month. And yeah, the fundamentals are pretty intriguing. You gave me blocks, so you can't really complain.
I'm sorry, sir. You probably can't complain. Block is going to go to 150 next year.
It'll just follow PayPal, and I'll be annoyed that I own it.
Tevis gave to Chris lemonade stock. Roy gave me hymns, which was good. I'm part of the hymns crew now, and I gave Tevis Joby.
The hell is Joby?
Thank you.
Yes, Steve.
He's talking in the chat.
Without
like
you
he's
even
not-
saying that, I think Tevis gave the worst gift to Chris with freaking lemonade. But what is Joby?
Joby is an eVTOL company.
It's a ticker you won't have to remember by next year, Steve.
Yeah, I think it's going to be delisted.
You would not like their free cash flow. We'll just put it that way.
No, bro. There's people in the chat that know the truth. Joby is the future. Joby's going to be a noun. Like, Uber over to my house. It's going to be Joby this, Joby that.
That's a verb, Tanner.
Sorry, verb. Yep. Yeah. And it's good that this is a live show. I'll remember that for the rest of my life.
Why is there a QR code on the screen? What is going on here? What did I step into?
But anyway, Joby is an electric vehicle takeoff and landing company. They own a drone/aircraft that Delta Airlines very much wants their hands on. Toyota wants their hands on it. Uber partnered with them.
All right, so we can't even get full self-driving cars, but we're gonna freaking say we're gonna be flying around the sky.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool
I'm putting $100 on college football next week is basically what's happening, Steve. That's my Joby stock for
I'm
you.
with you.
No. You have to buy Joby stock.
No. He is going to.
Shit, man, I got free will.
He's
You
saying
do not
it's the
have free will.
equivalent of throwing away money on sports gambling.
I guess you don't want to invest for your future. That's it.
Yeah.
This is the difference between gambling and investing. You want to be a real investor, you buy Joby.
So not this year, Steve, but next year we're making it a rule that you have to own at least 100 shares unless it's just an obscene price like Melly.
So why don't we just set a price amount?
Just say you have to own at least $1,000 in the stock to give it to somebody else.
There we go.
In that case, Tanner would buy $1,000 worth of Joby, and I'd be fine buying $100 of it if Tanner owns 1,000.
I might do that as well. This company might take. If I see one more press release, dude, your $100 might be 1,000. You might be $1,000 into Joby soon.
You show me order confirmation screen with $1,000 worth of Joby, I will buy it that same day.
You
All right.
have, brother,
Until
you are
then,
buying Joby stock.
I'm
I
not-
know where you live. Buy Joby stock.
I'm not buying Joby stock, dude.
I'm going to take I don't even know what they're called. Are they called Jobies? What are they called? I'm going to take a Joby over to your house. All right.
Yeah.
Maybe you got a fair point. I should have
Over to my
some
house
because
and start using that Brazilian jiu-jitsu and see what happens.
What?
You heard?
No, I really didn't. I was laughing.
You can take a Joby over to my house, try your Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and see what happens.
You'll have no more limbs. I'll be heading back to Canada with my suitcases filled with Steve's limbs. He'll be limbless. All right. You should see the barrage of messages. Every time I talk to Roy, it's nothing but DD. Tevis is like, "Hey, you want to play chess?" Chris is him telling me that my DD was wrong and that I have to correct it. And Steve is, you could never win a fist fight in the streets because someone's gonna have a knife. That is all the
what I
conversations
said
I have with
is
these people.
that BJJ is probably the worst thing for a street fight because it's amazing for competition and one-on-one, but on concrete in the street, you can very easily get head stomped or soccer kicked by somebody else. You can get stabbed. You want to be distance.
This is our exact conversations right before the SoFi Weekly. This is what he's texting me.
Cole says, "Can we collectively call Tanner Joby from now on?" And I kind of like that idea. So that's your new name, Tanner.
I'm perfectly fine with that. However, I'm not the shareholder out of this group. I honestly think you'll like it. I think I'm going to be right. This is me pulling a good page out of the book. I might even buy $1,000 worth.
Great. You do that, I'll buy.
Wait, you don't even own the stock that you're giving him?
Thank you.
Hold on a second. That can't be allowed.
That's not part of the rules.
Thank you, Steve.
We
Next
made a rule
year.
that next year it's not allowed.
Dude,
but
next year we're not
technically-
allowed.
So here's
I
the
mean,
thing.
that should really be a rule.
I'm gonna pull up the receipts from our chat because backstage Tanner was like, "I want to have everybody should have one veto because he was scared that he was gonna get me and he was gonna get Unity again, and so he wanted to just cover his bases."
No, I said we should ban hymns, and then look what happened. I still received hymns. So me and you, Tevis, we're on the same page. We both got what we didn't want. Look, do you see me complaining? I'm not complaining.
You're right. You're whining.
I'm
So-
getting disrupted by Amazon in 2025, and I'm not complaining. All right.
So I've done some DD on Joby, and I want to share it real quick, if you don't mind throwing this up.
Sure.
All right, this is from their
Wait.
IPO.
Is there music on this?
Okay, I can mute it.
Okay.
It's from their IPO, and I just
You
like the
Googled
first-
Joby and push play on the first YouTube video, and you call that DD.
Okay, there's a CEO. There's a CEO. Look
Yep.
at his face.
I'm not owning.
What
this.
meme does that face remind you of?
That old man pain.
Yeah, hide the pain, Hal or Harry or whatever it is. Does that look like a guy that is gonna bring Tevis gains this year?
He's
No.
gonna bring gains.
That's
He's gonna bring
all
gains.
the DD I need. Just to
No,
know,
go
like,
back.
I'm-
Go
we
back
got
through the.
Cole.
Show me some flying.
Guys, it's the it's me holding Joby stock.
I have
These
never
guys.
shorted a stock before, and I so want to short the hell out of this.
Your guys' funeral. Hey,
Wait,
he doesn't even
hold
need
on.
to buy it.
So
We
you're
have it down
super
on
bullish on this, yet you don't own it.
Tevis. You
Steve.
have to own it, brother.
Thank you, Steve. Stand up for me. This is
But
bullshit.
Tanner, you're acting like you're a Super Bowl, but you don't even own it.
Exactly.
I don't want to say anything, but I might have some information.
I
about-
would rather own Enron, the cryptocurrency that's Sagig is commenting right now, than own Joby.
Okay, but wait, hold on. Let me send something in the private chat. What does that classify?
That's an emoji of a middle finger.
Yeah.
There's nothing in the private chat.
Check the private chat. Yeah. So I held Unity as it crashed down. Okay. I didn't sell. There's no weak games here. You have to have diamond hands for 12 months.
That's if I buy it in the first place.
You're buying. You guys are going to miss out on some good gains. Well, Tevis will miss out on some good gains all of you guys will respectively make good money on your decent picks. But
You just said it was going to the moon, Tanner.
it could. You could. I expect that this will be not only the best year for Joby,
It's the worst fucking Christmas of my life.
but this will be the best pick in the history of the SoFi Weekly Christmas games. And that is what I'm suspecting. And that record will be held up for some time.
Can we get some side action on that statement? I'm giving 3-1 odds.
3-1 odds.
Action.
That what? Joby outperforms everything else?
Oh shit! If that's the bet, I'll give you 5-1.
Yes, the Joby's going to beat Hims Lemonade TMDX in Square.
Yeah, no.
In a 12-month, I'm not buying long term here. I'm not picking darling stocks that are going to build defensible moats. I'm building great press releases and a change in FAA certifications that are going to more than double this stock for Tevis, not for myself, for Tevis in the next 12 months.
That sounds like manipulation, sir.
How's that manipulation?
You just said that you're building press releases.
No.
That's what
He's betting
said.
on the fact that press releases are going to move the stock because the fundamentals are so bad.
In all seriousness, Tanner, they did 1.1 million in revenue in the past 12 months.
Tanner, put up.
That's perfectly fine.
Tanner, put up Calve's comment. Was Joby the one that flew over New Jersey and got shot down?
Yeah, this may not be a good time to get into this sector. Just saying.
Brother, when there's blood in the streets, buy Joby. And that is...
You mean listen to Bon Jovi?
When there's blood in the streets, Bon Jovi. Yeah, I think that you guys are going to...
Give us the use case.
I told you, press releases and FAA certifications. I don't care about the company or what they do.
But hold on. So their competition is what? Blade?
Archer Aviation
is the biggest one.
No, but with the fundamental analysis is this thing is going to be short range air vehicle for individuals.
I love you, Steve. You're
I
already
can get on a Blade for $195 from the city to the Hamptons. Like,
yeah, I think it's going to disrupt TMDX. I think their whole fleet's going to go down.
TMDX.
Oregon don't need planes; they need drones.
The one that you're buying.
Who comes up with this happy horse shit?
Steve has now done more DD on Joby than any of the other four of us in the last 5 minutes.
Everything sucks about it. Their freaking their cash position has gone from 1.3 billion.
You're not helping.
700 million over the past 3 years.
Yeah.
They have, let's say, huge dilution.
So the answer is yes.
Shares.
Just in case they get an FAA regulation, they're going to the moon, Steve. Haven't you heard?
Right, but they're right now producing negative cash from operations. They've done...
Well, yeah, because they're not really allowed to make any money yet, but that's going to change.
Okay.
I'm not owning this shit. I'm betting on college football. That's it. It's
Tevis, listen, brother.
No,
you know what? Here's the thing. All of these guys are getting in your head. They're making it seem like a meme.
No.
Do your own research.
I'm looking
hold on. In order for it to be a meme, it needs to go up.
Here, let me go. Let me see what let's see what Wall Street analysts are saying about this.
For real.
Okay.
Image search on Google. The CEO's name is Jobin. One word.
Stop it. His name is Joby.
Of course, his name's Joby.
It has to be related to Hide the Pain Herald. Like half of the images are literally him just fake smiling and just.
Tanner, if you don't buy the stock, at least start the Joby Weekly.
You know, I'm not going to do that. But
all right, I'm on their actual website watching their videos. I mean, you got some work to do here.
No, that's not the right. No, I thought you were going to say something positive.
No.
I mean, I don't see this getting FAA approvals for individuals to use anytime soon.
Morgan Stanley 5-star analyst says this is a $10 stock all day long.
Can I just show you guys what showed up when I looked at Joby when I just Google searched it?
Yeah, that's the video I'm looking at right now. Just go to their webpage.
It was one time.
Tevis.
You're gonna base the whole company on one mistake?
Tevin, just go to their website since you're sharing your screen.
You know what other company did that? Robinhood, and they tripled this year. So, just think about that.
How many people did they kill?
What?
How many people did Robinhood kill in a prototype crash?
Was there a death in that?
Let me share my screen. So you're telling me that this thing is going to get approval in the next year. Let's watch that again. This thing's going to get approval. And we're just going to have people flying around in a year, and we can't even get Tesla to get FSD done.
Not just people, Uber drivers. They're gonna be
stretching so far right now. So okay, Uber drivers are going to fly around and pick people up, vertical takeoff and land. Yeah, I'm really going to trust one of those people and get in this. Okay.
Oh man, these comments are so good.
So once a quarter, we need to kind of review and see where we're at. It's a full year, so anything can happen even after the first or second quarter. But that way we can see Tevis's face look like the CEO's hiding the pain because Joby is so bad.
Nah, Tanner, just pick something else, man, because I'm not gonna own this shit.
Brother, that is so unfair. I did all this due diligence, and now I have to freaking go and pick something else.
I did more due diligence in 5 minutes than you've done on this period.
So Tevis, open a Moomoo account because it's Moomoo and you won't care about it. Put $100 in there, buy this stupid thing, and forget you own it.
All right. So Tanner, if you did due diligence, what automaker made an investment in Joby?
Toyota.
Okay, at least you know that.
It's on their website, their front page.
Yeah, that's where do you think
You go to their investor relations page, the most recent news.
That's where investors go. Anyway, I'm not going to change my answer. I'm not going to let you guys bully me into thinking that this is a meme stock. This is I just bought Google for quantum computing. Okay, I'm not outside of the realm of buying moonshot ideas. So think about it. You buy Joby, I buy Google. We're both betting on the future.
Did you really just say Google is a moonshot idea?
Quantum computing, baby. Who knows it's going to work?
Did you just say a company that generates more than $100 billion a year in cash from operations is a moonshot idea?
It's all perspective. And the market is forward thinking. And maybe the next $100 billion company it'll be the Mag 8. Joby.
Can someone mute?
You can't even say that with straight face, so that's why you turned your camera off.
That's probably true. I'm memeing a little bit about comparing Joby to Google, of course, but I'm not in a 12-month span. I think that this could be the biggest performer, of course. That I'm not joking about. They do not need you guys are worried about dumb investing things like cash from operations, blah, 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 blah. Okay. What I'm worried about is press releases. I wish it does. It's not doing it justice because my camera's off, but, and certifications. That's all that matters. FAA gives this thing approval. It doubles. That's it.
All
right. You do. I'm not changing my answer. This is for Tevis. Love you, brother.
All right, so how about this? If you're not going to change your answer, can you and I make a public side bet on this little endeavor? And
I'll let you take that side bet with anyone else. I'm already. I would have a conflict of interest.
I do have a conflict of interest.
I'm already part of the original bet.
There is actually
there's no bet.
You don't own it.
The only person who has downside here is Tevis.
And the only person with real upside. You can only lose $100, but you could make millions.
The worst thing about this is you wanted him to consider owning $10,000 worth of Joby for the privilege, not obligation, but privilege of owning a quality company like him's.
I don't know. That is you're twisting my words. I said I would buy $10,000 of Google, or sorry, $10,000 of Hims if he bought $10,000 of Joby. I think that's a fair trade.
That is not a fair trade. At least,
Why?
and I am not a Hims supporter by any means, but at least that's a real company.
Yes.
Oh, you guys are. You think Uber's just shilling out partnerships for no reason?
Yes.
Yes.
I think Uber's going to be in trouble.
Bro,
because that's
Joby made.
I think
$28,000
Uber
last
has
quarter.
just as much downside as you do, Tanner, on this partnership.
Yeah, Joby made $28,000 last quarter.
Yeah.
All right, so
Net-
Tanner, let's do
Net
this.
income- hold on, Steve. Net income was minus 143 million. Revenue was 28,000.
I don't know why you're
I think
bashing, bro. You're
Tevis-
the only shareholder here.
Put
Tevis,
up Matt Flo's comment. Put up Matt Flo's comment.
I think Tevis's revenue was higher than Joby's last quarter from his paycheck.
Yeah, I didn't lose 143 million last quarter.
So Tanner, if you're not willing to buy Joby, let's make a bet for $100, something small, same amount that Tevis is going to lose on this. So I can give him your money when he loses his. Let's just make a bet that, for $100, you're going to say Joby is going to beat the other 4 candidates this year.
I want some leverage on that.
Well, I mean,
I have to be brother. Okay.
you're that confident.
I would rather buy. Here's the thing. I'd rather buy Joby stock than make that bet with you.
Okay,
Because-
buy Joby stock.
So then
Yeah,
buy
buy
$100 worth of Joby stock.
Buy 100 shares of Joby.
Buy 100 shares. Tanner, someone said, Tanner, I'll buy your course. You have to buy Joby with the money. I'll take you up on that bet. Everyone that buys the course in the next 5 minutes, I'll buy Joby stock with. There you go.
That's with other people's money, man. If people
Yeah,
donate
no,
$100,
that's a
we buy
horrible
whatever.
idea. Don't do that.
What? I'm not allowed to make side bets?
That's not a side bet. You're shilling right now.
Can we kick
Yeah, I
him?
am. But I'm just memeing. He's not going to buy it.
All right. We're not going to invite Tanner to the Joby Weekly.
You underestimate how degenerate I really am, Tanner.
I mean, at this point, we have to have a Joby weekly just to track the progress.
Well, no, I think that we should track it. And we'll have to see at the end who wins out on this year.
Did you get dropped on your head?
Me?
Who the fuck do you think I'm talking to?
You just bought Block. After I told you to buy Block, and then you said absolutely 0% chance that I'm buying this and that you hated him for political reasons. And then I told you that you would be a shareholder, and then you became one.
And the reason I did is because I am willing to change my mind when an investment story changes, and the investment story on Block changed.
You know what? You should keep thinking about Joby, and then we'll wait till you change your opinion on that one too.
Somehow, I don't think that's going to happen.
Ken
Going all
Megan
the way,
just,
baby.
made this meme.
Who did?
Ken of Ken Megan fame.
Oh man, that's hilarious.
I love it. I love it.
Oh.
To the moon, guys. To the moon.
Oh my God.
Whew. This is a good one.
Please show a crap.
You won't have to. You won't have to. This one's going places.
Yeah, it's going places.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, that has been the first episode of the Joby Weekly. Just as a reminder for everyone to keep count, Tanner gave Tevis Joby, never's changed. Roy gave Tanner Hims. Tevis gave Chris Lemonade. Chris gave Steve Transmedics. And Steve gave Roy Block Incorporated. Keep that in the calendars. We'll be using a year-to-date basis on these companies going from January 1st all the way out to the next holiday season. And let's all hope and pray that we receive stocks that go up greatly. And I think that all these will be winners. And that's what I think.
I don't get it.
Until next time.
See, at least Chris gave me something that could actually do something with its freaking life.
There might be a partnership between the two.
Yeah, they're going to fly organs. Okay, cool.
Maybe.
But no, Chris, thank you, because this is going to force me to do more DD. This
Bro.
is a space I'm interested in. And
It's a high risk, high reward.
If
I have a really
they do
small
a
position.
partnership, Steve, your stock's going down too because those organs are not making it to the destination.
I actually have been looking into CRISPR a lot.
Yeah, CRISPR, actually, I thought about it, but I don't own it. So
I don't know if I have a thesis around them leveraging AI for breakthroughs and whatnot. I think it's the next evolution of medicine.
yeah, it's actually like if Tanner wanted to give something that is either going to do nothing or just like fly, that's that one. Like we don't know when that'll happen, but I mean that's biotech for you. But they have a long runway. They're one of two biotech names. I don't own any of them. I own ABCL, I guess. But yeah, they're interesting. That would have been better than Joby, man.
I got to tell you, this is interesting, Chris. Lung, heart, liver. I like it.
Yeah. I think you'll like it, actually, Steve. The fundamentals.
So yeah,
It's interesting.
Go ahead,
It solves a real problem. So it is very interesting.
Calvé said we ruined Joby's outro.
Yeah, we're not letting Joby be the outro. Get out of here.
No.
There's only two people I know named Joby. Joby's CEO and this guy.
Oh, I wonder if that's why it's called, Joe Ben. So Joe B.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for watching. Really do appreciate your time. Make sure you give a chance or give some time to follow all the people that came out and joined this wonderful stream.
And
Until next time.
Merry Christmas.
Why do you have a QR
Merry
code
Christmas,
on the
everyone.
screen?
It's just the background that I tried covering it up, and it was easier
Are
to
you
cover up
trying
whenever
to
you weren't
show
here.
Discord thing now that you got to buy or something?
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
selling
you-
a course, and in that course, he's done due diligence to tell people to buy fucking Joby.
No, I would never. I don't. I tell people to do
certified
due diligence
financial
and buy
advisor.
quality companies.
He's a certified financial
So
advisor.
you just said that Joby's not a quality company.
No. I said it's
No, yes, we have it on video.
play the tapes. It's good. It'll be good for
Can't even
Tevis.
think right now.
Clearly doesn't love me.
it's
I love
Tanner's
you, brother. This is
OnlyFans
sick.
name.
This will be a lot of fun. We'll have to track the progress. I'll
Whatever you
keep it
say,
on a
bro.
watch list to make sure that we all can track this thing. Let's not track it like on a weekly or quarterly basis. But I'll be selective
Quarterly.
whenever I share Joby news.
Can we get
Quarterly,
Steve's price target as well, just so we have it? We don't
Steve?
get it
What?
very often.
SoFi stock the end of 2025. What's your price target?
So I don't believe this is a. I'll give you the short answer. 27. Without an explanation.
What?
That's what the DGens are here for. Go for it, Steve.
Well, I mean, look, I don't believe the Fed is only going to cut 2 times next year. The biggest problem right now is housing inflation. And the only way that comes down is with the rates coming down, because you need lower cost of capital. If you look at a chart of the Fed effective rate and 30-year mortgages, we need rates at 3% or less for mortgages to go down to 5% or so. Nobody is getting out of a 3% mortgage or a 3.5% mortgage to go into a 6 or 7% mortgage. Nobody's building. You need to incentivize home builders to build more homes. You need lower cost of capital. You need people to be able to refi and get out of these huge loans that they've taken on to bring rents down. And I just don't believe they're only cutting 2 times. I think they're going to cut 3 or 4 times. And I think that SoFi is going to add more products, grow members, and it'll be a good year for SoFi.
Price target.
I said 27.
You mean 27. Okay.
Yeah,
I
that
didn't
was
hear.
the first thing I said, 27.
Oh, okay. I missed it. Sorry.
I also missed it.
What did everybody else say?
I said 25.
28.
28.50.
28.
Wow, out of the 5 of us, nobody went past 30. Damn.
I said it would be
I-
30 plus if the Fed didn't bring down their amount of rate cuts for 25?
25 is my base target, and I'm comfortable with that. 31, I said, if the tech platform reaccelerates, but I don't know. I like dramatically, not just a bit.
I mean, we're talking about almost a double from here in the next year.
Yeah, it's good.
It's a pretty decent return.
Better than Joby.
100%.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for watching. Really do appreciate your time. Bye for now.